This is my workflow to create consistent AI characters using Midjourney V7 OmniReference. So using this workflow, you'll be able to create consistent AI avatars, AI characters in Midjourney, and then you'll be able to use those characters in any images you want forever. This whole project started because I was asked to create a consistent character for a video game called My Angry Yakuza Girlfriend. And in this game, the main character is a girl named Mickey. And Mickey has a very specific look, a very specific style, a very specific backstory that all revolves around the game. So with this project, I was given a character reference, which was this 3D image of Mickey. And obviously I couldn't use that because our goal was to create a realistic looking character. So the first thing that I had to do was go to ChatGPT and generate my whole character backstory. I find this step to be very important and very helpful for the long run because it allows you to just hone in every single specific detail, from name, age, height, her build, her ethnicity, her face like structure of bones, her hairstyles, everything like that, as well as her fashion styles and combat mode and personality and all these things. Once I had this character designed, I asked ChatGPT to generate an image of what it thought this character would look like. And the result that it gave me wasn't really what I was looking for. I then asked ChatGPT to give me a prompt of what that character image was. So I asked it to give me a Midjourney prompt of that image. And it gave me this prompt. So I took that prompt and I went over to Midjourney V7 and I started creating a new custom profile for this project. I knew I wanted it to have fashion and film and realistic and beautiful Asian women and a little bit of surrealism, but like a nice like film texture look too. Then using that custom profile, I used the prompt that I got from ChatGPT of the image and started generating as many versions of this character as I possibly could. I then narrowed it down to a look that I liked, and I started using that look as a reference image. And I was getting content moderated like crazy. What I found was that showing legs to Midjourney is really, really bad. It thinks that legs are the most sexualized thing ever, and we cannot show Midjourney legs, otherwise it won't let you use an image for OmniReference, so I had to crop the image. Using this image, I started playing with V6.1 and V7, although I knew I wanted to do V7 in the end, and I got this image out of it. I particularly liked the look of the girl on the left here. So then I started using this image as my reference. And with this image, I used a new prompt, which I got from JDP200. It was basically a way to get this character on a flat white background, make it look like a studio headshot, and be able to generate just like really nice lighting with the character looking into camera, so I could really capture all her features and everything. I took this character and I started applying more specific scene prompts, and I got this look that I really liked. So I knew that I had a character that was working, and then I just started running from there using her as my OmniReference. And by doing that, I was able to then generate a bunch of different poses and emotions. After I finished all of this work and had discussions with the client, we decided that we wanted to actually go in a slightly different direction for the character. And so with that, I went back and sort of started the process again, which was kind of a nice thing because the repetition allowed me to try some new things that I had realized I was missing in the first version. Something that I added that was a huge advantage to the workflow was a new custom profile that was specifically for headshots. And you can really see the difference here of how that generated images for me, where the random profiles that I was using were giving me all sorts of angles and lighting and hair all over the place, whereas the headshot profile was like always straight on, always well framed, always well lit. And that is a huge advantage when you're trying to use an image for OmniReference. What I did was go through this process of finding one look that I liked and then using that as an OmniReference and altering the parameters a little bit to generate something a little closer to what I wanted, and then just continuing down that rabbit hole until I finally got a collection of images that I thought were pretty cool. And then using those, I was able to take a prompt from ChatGPT and use those prompts with these OmniReference images of the character and generate side-by-sides of the same two scenes for each version of the character so that we could see what that character would look like in these final settings with the final applied Meiji profile style. And then that allowed us to finalize and narrow in on this character, which became our final character, our final look. And that then allowed me to use even the same prompts that I'd used for the other character, but now put the new character in those same old prompts and settings. And with this, I'm able to generate consistent characters in any style I want, with any profile I want, but always having this same woman and this same face and all that stuff. What I think is cool about this workflow is that in about a day, I can go from absolutely nothing to honing in any type of character.